Every nation has its icons, but China was shaped by a ghost, Deng Xiaoping. He was a survivor, a pragmatist, a quiet force who moved behind the throne, pulling strings that would alter the destiny of a billion people. His journey began in the working-class districts of Paris in the 1920s, where he toiled in factories by day and studied revolution by night. Deng learned that survival was the first principle of politics, and that real power was about understanding the system, not commanding it. In Paris, he joined the Communist Party, not out of blind faith, but as a tool for national salvation. He mastered the art of being indispensable but never threatening, present but unseen. Paris gave him a strategy-patient, quiet control, the foundation for the architect of modern China. Returning to a China in chaos, Deng was the party's steady hand, the organizer who made grand plans work. He rose through the ranks, always observing, always effective, but never seeking the spotlight. Deng watched Mao's disastrous experiments and learned ideology alone could not feed a nation. His philosophy was simple: seek truth from facts. It doesn't matter if a cat is black or white as long as it catches mice. This pragmatism made him both valuable and dangerous, fixing crises, but marked as a capitalist roader. Deng played the long game, building support quietly while others chased glory. He knew revolutions are won with passion, but nations are governed with competence. His silence was not weakness. It was the careful conservation of strength, waiting for China to be ready for him. The Cultural Revolution swept Deng away. Humiliated, purged, exiled to a tractor factory, he endured personal tragedy and political ruin, but never broke. In exile, Deng reflected on China's failures and quietly crafted a new vision: prosperity through reform, not revolution. He saw firsthand the limits of rigid central planning and began to imagine a China open to the world. Purged twice, he waited, patient and unbroken, as chaos consumed the country. His enemies saw defeat. Deng was simply preparing for his final act. Exile was not his end. It was the incubation of the plan that would transform China. In 1978, the ghost returned. Deng, now the paramount leader, ended the Cultural Revolution and declared a new era, his masterstroke reform and opening up. He decollectivized agriculture, created special economic zones, and invited foreign investment. Deng called it socialism with Chinese characteristics, a pragmatic cover for unleashing market forces. The results were explosive. Cities like Shenzhen boomed, poverty plummeted, and millions seized new opportunities. To get rich is glorious, he declared, rewriting China's social contract prosperity in exchange for stability. But rapid change brought unrest. In 1989, demands for political reform erupted in Tiananmen Square. Deng saw chaos threatening his vision. He ordered the crackdown, stability above all. The dream of a prosperous China, he believed, could not be sacrificed for anything. Deng's China would be rich, but not free. His legacy, a nation transformed, but at a cost. Tiananmen shook China, but Deng was not finished. In 1992, his southern tour reignited reforms, declaring, "Development is the hard truth." He bypassed hardliners, spoke directly to the people, and cemented his policies as China's irreversible path. Deng died in 1997, but his vision lives on in China's skyscrapers, factories, and global reach. He lifted hundreds of millions from poverty, blending authoritarian control with economic dynamism. Today, China's wealth and power and its silenced dissent are his legacy. Deng never wore the crown, but he was the king in the shadows.
1992, age 87. Deng launches the Southern Tour. No fanfare, just one cane, 3 cities, and an unspoken decree: keep reforming or collapse. He doesn't attend meetings, he visits factories, he walks. And by walking, he moves the economy again. The world calls it a miracle. But it was a system built by a ghost, unseen, relentless, unstoppable. Deng Xiaoping died in 1997. But his shadow? It still rules. Every skyscraper, every app, every protest silence.
He never sought the spotlight because ghosts don't need it. Deng Xiaoping rebuilt China without ever needing a throne. Like, share, subscribe. This was Untold Drive.
And you've just met the man who rebuilt China without ever needing a throne.